Hello, everyone, and welcome into today's reading. This is for Thursday, March 28th. And sorry, it's a little later than usual, but I had a new deck that was getting delivered today, so I wanted to wait and be able to use it. So this one, it's dogs. So as we go through the reading today, I'll pull an extra card per sign grouping so that we can dig into some of these new dog cards that we have here. So this reading will follow our normal format where I pull cards for the collective in general, and then I go sign grouping by sign grouping to see what wants to come through for you for today. So I hope everyone is doing well as we're sitting in this Mercury retrograde shadow period. So retrograde starts on April 1st, and so there's that kind of shadow period leading up to it. So it's going to be lots of energy since we also have that big solar eclipse going on April 8th, which is going to be coinciding during our Mercury retrograde. So, all right. And put a comment down below. Let me know what you think of the new dog deck. I would love to get some feedback, or if you have a different deck of mine that's a favorite in terms of actual tarot decks. I know I asked about the Oracle decks, I think, last week. I'd love to hear from you if you have a favorite on the actual tarot decks. All right, let's jump in. So we have the Five of Wands in reverse. We have the Devil energy, and then we have the Hanged Man in reverse. So we have this is our Five of Wands in reverse. So this is about finding resolution and peace to something that's been dogging you. Sorry. Here is the Devil energy. So that is, that whatever it is that's pulling you off of your life path, off of your mission. And then we have the Hanged Man in reverse. So the dog isn't actually hanging upside down, but you can see at the bottom here, there's a little bit of something wrapped around his foot. So that is kind of that self-imposed, it's almost like this needless sacrifice where you're just hanging there upside down. And it's not like the normal hanged man. There's a sense of, you're trying to work through it and you kind of feel a little bit stuck, but maybe seeing things from a different perspective. When it's in reverse, it's almost kind of like this martyrdom, like you're just going to make yourself continue to stay in that position, like needless sacrifice. And so especially as we put it together, that kind of goes along with this Devil energy. It's trying to keep you off your path. So there's that push of, oh, but you need to sacrifice, kind of like the whole thing of, oh, love hurts and things are painful. Like you only get this reward if you're struggling, like that you have to struggle in order to get to the good stuff. And then we also, like I said, this is that sense of like peace and resolution and sort of moving on. So that was the energy coming out for the collective in general. So let's take a look sign grouping by sign grouping, and we will start with our air signs. So that is our Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Let's see what messages are wanting to come through for you. The High Priestess. So this is going to be that sense of divine feminine energy, that intuition, that wisdom, that higher consciousness, and really sitting in that divine feminine energy. So the idea of this Devil energy that's trying to keep you in this martyrdom of, oh, I have to do this. I can't break free. I can't stand up for myself, whatever the case may be. That is not really the case. And so this inner wisdom, this higher sense of self is really what's starting to come through. All right. Then we have service. So this is that I feel good when I can help others. And that's really a lot of that divine feminine energy, that wanting to help other people. A lot of times that people, that are watching tarot oftentimes are people who are light workers, healers, shamans. So you have that pull to want to help other people, to want to help them better their situations and help raise consciousness in general. And so that's really what that High Priestess energy is. So even if you've been sitting in this energy, this Devil energy, and, oh, but I I simply can't, I must stay in whatever this bad situation is. You're turning that corner because you realize that that is not what's in your highest good. Like, you're here to help other people, not to lose yourself in one specific situation. Then we also have Vesta as your goddess. Your household situation is improving, either through a move or a healthy change in the occupants. And so this is a matter of if you've been having some struggles at home, there's going to be changes in the occupants, and that could either mean some people are moving out that are creating a turmoil, creating drama, creating low vibe situations. It could mean that new people are moving in, or when it's saying a healthy change in the occupants, it could also be a matter of behavioral changes. So perhaps you're living with somebody who is battling with addiction and they're able to overcome that. Maybe it's somebody who's been really struggling through a major cycle of depression and they're finding a way to move past that. So you're having that sense of a healthy change that's moving things for the better on the home front. All right, then we have got Moldavite. Synchronicities, chakra activating, and transcendence. So for people that are on an awakening journey, that sense of activating your chakras and transcending whatever the current situation is, you'll get signs and synchronicities from the universe as you're moving down that path, as you're getting that confirmation from the universe that things are in alignment, that you're moving to a better place, that you're getting to where it is that you want to go. So it looks like things are moving in a good, positive direction as you focus on this inner wisdom, on this higher consciousness, and really keep yourself focused on how can you help. Part of your mission is in some way, shape, or form to help other people. And how can you really focus on that and be able to move past this devil energy that's trying to keep you stuck? All right, so that was for our air signs. Now we are moving on to our fire signs. So let's see what we have for Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Let's see what wants to come through for you. Wheel of Fortune. So this is that card about changes coming in that are destined and fated changes. Oh, I realized I forgot to do extra cards for air signs. So I'll just do them going forward. So with this destined and fated, whatever it is that you feel like you've been battling, pushing up against this devil energy, know that that was part of your journey, that is part of your lessons that you're here to learn is how do you push back against this devil energy? How do you get yourself out of feeling like you're a martyr and like you're sacrificing and you have to stay in this, bad situation? How do you find your way to be able to move past that? Because this challenge it's a destined and fated one, but that means it's also destined and fated for you to move past that. So here is, I pulled two more cards here. We have the Emperor and we have Death. So, oh, these dogs, I love them. So we have the Emperor and we have the Death card. So remember, this is for our Aries, Leo, Sag. So something needs to go. And that's going to be lining up here with your Hanged Man in reverse and your devil energy. So that's the part that needs to go. That is this Death card. That's what needs to be released. And in order for you to stand in this Emperor energy. And this transformation from being this, I'll call it this this stuck hanged man in reverse, the transition from here over to your Emperor energy, that is your destined and fated. That is this Wheel of Fortune moment. So it looks like that is going to be coming in for our fire signs. So beautiful message there. And then let's take a look at some oracle cards. We have Fear. I realize that I am testing my resolve to live in the energy of love. So this card about testing your resolve, that's part of what has kept you in this devil energy, hanged man in reverse, is you're sitting here in a position of fear. So that's what the devil aims to do. They try to keep you, or he, it, whatever, however you want to describe it, tries to keep you in this low vibe energy. So the low vibe energy is going to be things like fear, shame, guilt, jealousy, anger, like those types of situations. But know that is what your challenge is. You're being challenged to live in that energy of love instead of letting yourself get pulled into that energy of fear. Sedna is your goddess card. Infinite supply. You are supplied for today and all of your tomorrows. So this is that sense of having faith and trust in the divine that the abundance is available to you. So if you're sitting here staying in a bad situation that you don't want to be in because, but I have to do it for stability, financially I can't afford to not be in this situation. Maybe it's a matter of whatever your housing is or your job, like you hate your job, but you can't quit because you're worried about money. You're in a relationship, but you can't leave because of financial reasons, whatever the case may be. This is that reminder that there's infinite supply, and working on manifesting and faith in the divine that you will have your needs met. Cosmic Blue Palladium, unity, wisdom, and regeneration. So I really like it here with your Wheel of Fortune card, the blues in it. So that's the one thing, if you watch the channel a lot, you know that I look for color patterns and like symmetry within some of the different cards. So obviously with this new dog deck, there is no color. It's all black and white. So it's going to be a matter of, are there other color themes running within the other cards? But these blues here, that this is destined and fated, this idea of this wisdom and this regeneration, and essentially almost like, how can you rebirth yourself? How can you move to a higher version of yourself? So that was our message for our fire signs. Now we are on to our earth signs, which is our Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Alrighty, let's see what messages want to come through for you. Judgment. So, and this one, it did come out in the reverse. Usually I don't necessarily read reverses on these, but when we look at it, it's that sense of, as I always describe it, like you're taking the exam in a class. Have you learned the lesson? Are you going to cycle through it again? And so in the reverse, it kind of has that sense of, you haven't learned your lesson. You're not able to move forward because you're still continuing through these same looping patterns, the same behaviors, thought processes, attachment points that are creating that struggle. So let's pull two more cards. You have the Nine of Wands, and then you have the Ace of Cups in reverse. So the Nine of Wands is this sense of, like, there's this persistence about it. Like, I'll do close up so that you can see the new cards. So it's this sense of, like, you have this resilience, like you're making a stand. But with your Ace of Cups in reverse, and here's with this one, it's not a full dog. You can see the paw back here though. So the Ace of Cups in reverse is this feeling of being like unloved. There's this feeling of loss and these blocks. And a lot of that is, I guess whichever direction we're looking at it, if it's in reverse, like you're avoiding this positive change that wants to come in, like because you're fighting back and you're not wanting to learn these lessons. So it's almost like you're choosing this hill to die on, but this really isn't the hill to die on, because doing that means that you're not learning your lesson. Like you're digging your heels in saying, I know better than the divine what I need, what I want. So by doing that, it also keeps you kind of locked out of your blessings and making you feel unloved, because that's usually when there's unhappiness, it's because you're resisting the flow of what's trying to come in for you. All right, love. I commit to the practice of seeing the good in all things. Um, so this is kind of like, bring love into the situation because the devil energy is trying to keep you stuck. There's the energy pushing in that it's like you want to be able to move on, move past it, but there's some stubbornness to moving on and to moving past what's keeping you stuck. So the solution to that is to bring love into the equation so that you can move on, move past whatever this current struggle is for you. All right, let's take a look at our Goddess Oracle and see what card wants to come through for our Earth signs. Cordelia, go outside. You have been indoors too long. Go outside and get some fresh air. So this is kind of that message about grounding and making sure that you're connecting with nature is one of the best ways to ground. Like go for walks in the park, outside, oops, that one jumped. Sit outside and just listen to the wind or the rain or the birds chirping, whatever it is, because sometimes it's easy to get caught up in whatever is happening to you. Like, oh my gosh, this is such a big deal. This is so huge. But then when you can step back and like see the world happening around you and kind of realizing, this maybe sounds bad, how insignificant you are. I mean, like there's a good and a bad to that. So some of it is that sense of insignificance, like you're 1 in 8 billion people here. It feels big to you, but the world will go on turning. So whether you make this choice, whether you make that choice, whether you make that one in the middle, whether you do nothing, the world is going to go on turning. So what do you do to live in a higher vibration while the world goes on turning? Type of a sense to it. So that was a jumper card. So as a pulled card here. So your jumper card was pink, spirit, gold, dead sea salt, yin and yang, perfect harmony. So it's about finding balance and not letting yourself get too one way or the other. Your other card here was Saint Germain, frankincense, elevate, awaken, and transform. So it's a matter of letting yourself be awakened, letting these transformations happen. Like don't dig your heels in so hard and keep yourself stuck. Like let these transformations happen. Pull this one out. Okay. All right. And now on to our water signs. So that's going to be our Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Let's see what message is coming through for you for today. We also have the High Priestess for you. So this is a lot of divine feminine energy in the collective right now. This loving energy, this higher wisdom, or higher consciousness, inner wisdom. Starting to have that sense of I understand what my purpose is. I understand why all of this happens the way it does. And that's a beautiful energy. So things may not, like in the 3D, things may not be exactly as you want them to be, but it's like there's this sense of, oh, okay, they're not exactly what I want them to be, but that's okay. I understand what the lessons are or why this is coming the way it is. And then we have the Fool and we have Judgment in reverse. Oh my gosh, this is so cute. So here we have the Fool. We have the dog with his little pouch there, like the little bag on a stick, like the old style hobos have. So this is being ready to take that leap. So as you can see, there's a little sense of fear. It almost looks like in the dog's eyes, or like sadness, maybe just a little bit, about, oh my gosh, I'm going to take this leap, but the sun's at its back. And it has that trust in the divine of, okay, let's do that. But then we also have Judgment in reverse coming up. So there's a little bit of that sense of, am I ready? Like there's this, almost this duality here where, we have the devil energy that's pushing in against this, or with this Hanged Man in reverse. And that's kind of going with this Judgment in reverse as well. Like, this devil energy is trying to keep you looping, and it's trying to keep you stagnant. And if that energy prevails, you're going to be looping again. You're going to go through this lesson again, like this time, that you're not going to be passing that course. So what needs to happen in order for you to get this resolution and to be able to be on to the better things is going to be that higher wisdom, that inner wisdom, that higher consciousness, that, oh, okay, I understand these lessons. I get what's going on here. So really for water signs needing to embody this, and even her dress has like this watery flow to it. So really being pushed in that direction. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Then we have relationships. I'm attracted to those people who serve my higher good. And when this came out before, I think it was maybe a week ago, one of the comments that I made is when it says I'm attracted to people that serve my higher good. Remember, higher good isn't necessarily making you feel warm and fuzzy all the time. It's you're attracted to people who serve your highest growth, your learning experience. So, for example, if you are consistently attracted to people who turn out to be narcissists, what is it about that situation that there's a lesson that you're just not learning? Maybe it's a matter of there's red flags that you see and that you think, oh, but I can change the person. I'm a healer, so of course I can help them heal their wounds. You know, as a healer, it's not necessarily your job to seek out a certain person and say, I'm helping you. Come hell or high water, I'm going to help make you better, or help you move past whatever this is. So you can be there as a lighthouse to help other people. But I love it. Another reader used this example. The lighthouse doesn't run up and down the shore chasing after the ships. The lighthouse is there. And, the ships that are in need of it see that lighthouse. They're able to see that and be like, oh, that is exactly what I needed right now. So as a healer, and that's one of the hard things, is it's not a matter of you going and sniffing out who needs help and being absolutely adamant, insisting that you push your way into that person's life to help them. Like there has to be a certain level of willingness on the other person's part to want to heal, to want to get better. And you have to be respectful of that as well. All right. And then your goddess card was Aina. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. Leap of faith. Take a risk and put your heart's true desire into action. So water signs, you are really being pushed in that direction because essentially leap of faith is the Fool card. That's the beginning of that journey and taking that leap and having that sense that, you got the sun at your back, the divine's at your back, they've got you, and moving forward. All righty. And then let's pull this card for you. Tuning the heart. Boundaries, insight, and power, or pure potential. So remember, boundaries are there as a good thing. So if it's within a relationship and you're talking about boundaries, it can feel scary if you're not very good at setting boundaries, but that's part of this inner wisdom piece here, is setting boundaries is not there to push away somebody who wants to love you. It's a matter of saying, these things, this behavior, this whatever doesn't make me feel good. And this relationship is important enough that I want you to be able to love me in a way where it feels loving to me. So it's almost more like, hey, help me help you type of scenario, like with boundaries, that when you're setting them so that the person can love you in a way that feels loving to you. So, and especially if like when it says pure potential, when you're setting the boundaries because you value the relationship and you want it to feel good and to be around the other person, like when that's why you're setting the boundaries, like, hey, this really doesn't make me feel good when like if you are behaving like this, that's a boundary for me. It makes me feel uncomfortable in the relationship. Like, that's a good thing as long as you're coming at it from the pure potential perspective. Like, you're not doing it to hurt the other person. You're doing it because you're saying it hurts you to not have that boundary in place. So that was the message for our water signs. I am going to quickly go back and pull a couple cards for Gemini because I realized I didn't do that. So back to the Gemini reading. As you will remember, your cards. Oh, actually, you had the High Priestess as well, and it was these were the cards we had: Service and Vesta, and then we had this Moldavite, this Synchronicities, Chakra Activation, and Transcendence. So let's pull a couple more tarot cards for you. We have Eight of Swords, and then we have our Seven of Pentacles in reverse. So the Eight of Swords is about having that feeling of being stuck, a feeling of being imprisoned. Now, we'll look at each one of these individually. So as you'll notice, like in this one, the person is blindfolded, or the dog is blindfolded and has this sense of being scared. Like it knows that there's these swords all around it, but it doesn't know where they are because the dog has been blindfolded and can't see. So one of their senses is being taken away. But when you look at it, the swords mostly are behind the dog. They're not actually going to get them. And if the dog's able to just kind of like baby step their way forward, like right through here, then the dog will be able to get out of this prison. So sometimes it's almost like this self-imposed feeling of being stuck, but you're really not. Then we also had our Seven of Pentacles in reverse, which is about kind of like lacking some effort, and there's a little bit of like abandonment of projects. So this dog's just kind of hanging out there, you know, with these pentacles, like, okay, they're there, I could harvest them. I'm not really actually doing that right now. So there's a sense of, you know, things are, I'll call it like ripe for the picking, but you have to take the action. So this sense of overcoming these obstacles and kind of like moving on and finding a solution, that goes along with this feeling, like the self-imposed feeling of like being stuck. So you need to figure out what is the solution that's going to make you feel unstuck. And it's going to take some sort of action on your part. It's not going to be what you've been doing, which is more of this passive, well, if I just wait long enough, this option will come up, or the universe will take care of it. It's going to take some actual action on your part. And it could cause, like when you do that, it could cause some disruptions within the home, you know, but you have to get yourself out of this like martyrdom stuck type of energy, because this is very much like this Eight of Swords energy of feeling stuck and, oh, I can't do anything. I'm just stuck. I'm stuck. So that's the part that you need to work on is, you know, having these chakra activations. This is going to help with some of that inner wounds. But with this High Priestess, this divine feminine energy of really kind of sitting in this state of knowing, in this state of higher consciousness, and what are you being drawn to do? So I find that a lot of times when you're stuck in these types of situations, it's a matter of how can you step back and look at this, like, what are my lessons? What am I supposed to be learning? And try to focus on that rather than, oh, I have this problem in front of me. What do I do about this problem? I don't know about this problem. And stop focusing on the problem and look at the lesson, because what you perceive as being the problem might not actually be it. It could be that there's this bigger lesson that needs to be addressed, and that's where your energy needs to go, is how do you resolve that lesson, and then this other problem could end up disappearing because you've committed to learning that lesson. So I hope that you found this message to be helpful, but as always, remember, take only what resonates and leave the rest. So there's going to be a number of other readings on the channel coming up this week. Things got a little bit busier earlier in the week, but I'll be having a number of different types of readings coming up. So make sure you hit the subscribe and notification bell if you wanted to be alerted as to when those drop. Otherwise, I wish you peace and joy along your journey. Until next time.